I rarely do this, but I felt that I had to do this time, where I actually forget to include something in a video. And I rarely do this, but I'm doing it this time because it's important. I said there were 38 reasons why the long-haired Mac Daddy Justin Trudeau, son of Satan, should not be re-elected as Prime Minister of Canada. But I'm going to make it a grand total of 40. Now, I included one while I was in the middle of doing the video. I mentioned him taking many personal days when there were different problems taking place in Canada, that when we needed a strong, smart leader at the helm, maybe it was better that he was taking those personal days. And so that made it 39 reasons. But I'm adding one more. I'm going to add one more and make it 40. The 40th reason why Justin, the long-haired Mac Daddy Trudeau, should not be re-elected as Prime Minister of Canada is because he allowed the United States to roll over Canada. He allowed that. Now, this isn't a criticism of America. I applaud Donald J. Trump, yay and amen, up to the hilt and roundabout, back down the hill, down the well, up the well again, and around back to where we started. He's doing what's good for his country, and we don't have a leader who's doing that. I mean, there's a leader in America who's putting America first, making America great again, and we don't have a leader who's doing that. We're behind. And the way he allowed America to roll over, Canada is through that recent trade battle we had. Now, he negotiated this USMCA, which was great for America, and I say yay and amen to the American. They have a president who's got the cojones to negotiate a great trade deal for their country. But speaking as a Canadian, when we surrender the dairy, or at least partially surrender it, and partially surrender to America, we didn't fully capitulate to them, but we partially did, without America doing something in return. Because let's face it, America subsidizes their corn, a lot of their farming products in Iowa and America, with the corn, all sorts of, they have all sorts of farm subsidies. And we, the Canadian, the Canadian with only 36 million people, we have this dairy, some people call it a cartel, but we have protections on dairy so that we don't get swamped. And we even capitulate a little bit. Well, he just let the United States roll over Canada. And I had a picture up in one of the videos where it had Donald Trump grabbing Trudeau's hand, shaking his hand, and the title read, "Trump grabs Canada by the pussy." And it sounds comical and it sounds whatever. Some Trudeau worshipping people will say that I'm just being degrading and being facetious and everything, but it's true. It's serious. I'm telling you, this is true. It's what happened. Now, you got so many Canadians up and down the place saying how bad Trump is, and he's a racist, and he's this evil man, and we shouldn't like him, he's just terrible, and all this sort of stuff. But if you re-elect Justin, the long-haired Mac Daddy Trudeau, to a second term, you're just electing somebody who allowed Trump to roll over him and your country. Our country. I mean, it's just what happened. And I'm not blaming Donald Trump at all. I'm not blaming him. Just like when he said he doesn't blame Mexico back when Obama was allowing Mexico and Canada under a strong leader, Harper, when they were rolling over America. I don't blame Donald Trump. I mean, what he did for his country, he managed to get us. We've managed to keep our dairy safe and make them feel secure. Our dairy industry, we've made them feel secure and safe and at peace of mind. And the Mac Daddy, with just one stroke of a pen, got rid of all of that. So that's a grand total of 40 reasons why the Mac Daddy shouldn't be reelected as Prime Minister of Canada. So there you have it. 40 reasons. 40 great, legitimate reasons why the Mac Daddy should not be reelected. Promised to be for the middle class, but we are no longer the richest middle class. Used taxpayer dollars to pay for his nannies. Gave billions of our tax dollars to other nations. Imposed job-killing, environmentally unfriendly carbon tax. Said he thought we should phase out Alberta oil sands. Later said he misspoke. He never misspoke. Has done nothing people can be proud of except weed legalization. Did nothing to stop the large influx of illegals coming to Canada from America. In the beginning of the current year we are in, 2018, lost the most jobs in 9 years, 888,000 jobs. Had natives living with contaminated water while using our taxes to spend on other nations. Allowed illegal alien Razak Lyle to stay in Canada. Allowed CBC to use our taxes to racially divide Canada and make Trump supporters look racist. Disrespected Alberta on Canada Day in 2017. Gave $10.5 million to terrorist Omar Khadr. Spent $5 billion in 2016 on other nations while cutting benefits to veterans. Took many different personal days while Canada was going through some of its most difficult economic, social, and environmental moments. Refused to aid the world in the destruction of ISIS. Lost Canada's respect around the world. Created M103. Lied to Canadians when he said M103 was only a motion. Canadians pay more on taxes than anything else. Raised taxes on small businesses and farmers, and yet couldn't answer whether or not he paid his fair share on his trust fund. Snubbed the people of BC during wildfire and the West during wildfires ravaged when wildfires ravaged the province and the West. Let Energy East pipeline die. Said veterans ask for too much. Gave $119 million in aid to Middle Eastern and African nations for food crisis, while cutting service for type 1 diabetics by taking their tax credits. Tax money saved from employee discounts. $5.6 million on a skating rink in front of the Houses of Parliament when Rideau Canal was next door. Built a road for Jordan using our taxpayer dollars. Illegal aliens and refugees in Canada get sports stadiums and free hotels as shelter. Homeless Canadians freeze. Canada projecting deficits until 2040 and $1 trillion in debt by 2035 if we keep going down Trudeau path. Took the special pay Canadian vets received if injured and don't go back to work within 180 days and would get pay cuts. Won't fund student summer jobs unless employer supports abortion. Broke modest deficit promise. Insulted India by inviting Sikh terrorist Jaspal Atwal on a state visit to India and made Canada look stupid. Gave $12 million to Iraq for infrastructure after saying vets ask for too much. Gave $33 million to help Afghan vets while saying our vets ask for too much. Even after ISIS claimed responsibility for terrorist attack in Toronto, Trudeau still refuses to fight them. Sexually groped a woman, assaulted 2 fellow MPs. And there you have it, 40 reasons why the long-haired Mac Daddy should not be re-elected as Prime Minister of Canada. And I mentioned the 40th reason, allowing America to roll all over us. This is the Arana Nation.